Look at Steve Jobs. When Apple started, it wasn't about making money. It was about creating something beautiful, something meaningful, something that could change the world. That level of obsession, that love for design and simplicity, is what made Apple different. That passion fueled every decision, every product, every late night spent refining and perfecting. Without it, Apple would have been just another company selling just another computer. Passion was the difference. Walt Disney faced rejection after rejection. His first animation company went bankrupt. Banks refused to fund his ideas. People told him that a theme park based on cartoons was ridiculous. He ignored them. He kept pushing forward because he loved storytelling, because he believed in magic, because he knew in his heart that the world needed what he had to offer. That kind of passion is rare. That kind of passion is what builds legacies. Passion is not always obvious at first. Sometimes it starts as curiosity. Sometimes it starts as an interest that won't go away. The people who change the world are the ones who follow that curiosity, who explore it, who go all in. They don't let doubt stop them. They don't let failure slow them down. They keep learning, keep improving, keep going because they can't imagine doing anything else. Michael Jordan didn't become the greatest basketball player of all time because he wanted to be famous. He became the greatest because he loved the game. He practiced harder than anyone else. He showed up early, left late, pushed himself beyond his limits because basketball wasn't just a sport to him, it was his life. That kind of passion is what separates the best from the rest. Elon Musk didn't start Tesla and SpaceX because it was easy. In fact, it was nearly impossible. He faced setbacks that would have made anyone else quit. He poured everything he had into his companies, risking everything because he believed in what he was doing. He wasn't in it for quick success. He was in it because he was obsessed with pushing humanity forward. That level of passion is the only thing that can carry someone through the impossible. J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter not because she thought it would make her rich, but because she had a story inside her that had to be told. She wrote in coffee shops, struggling to pay her bills, sending her manuscript to publisher after publisher, facing rejection after rejection. But she kept going because she loved storytelling. That love is what made her push through the rejection. That love is what made her one of the most successful authors of all time. Passion is not just about career or success. It's about life. It's about waking up every day excited for what you do. It's about finding that thing that makes you feel alive, that thing that makes all the struggles worth it. People who are passionate don't need motivation. They don't need someone to tell them to work harder. They just do it because they can't imagine doing anything else. Most people settle. They take the safe path, the easy path, the one that guarantees security but not fulfillment. And then they wonder why they feel empty. They wonder why they feel stuck. It's because they never found that thing that lights them up inside. Passion is the key to a life without regret. It's the difference between existing and truly living. The hardest part is often finding it. Some people spend years searching, trying different things, failing over and over until they find the one thing that makes them come alive. That's okay. The important thing is to never stop looking. Never accept a life where you wake up dreading the day ahead. Never settle for a job, a career, a path that doesn't excite you. Keep searching, keep experimenting, keep learning. The moment you find it, everything changes. Passion is rare because it requires risk. It requires stepping into the unknown. It requires ignoring the people who say it's impossible. It requires sacrifice. But those who embrace it, who chase it, who refuse to let it go, are the ones who create, who innovate, who inspire. History is not written by those who played it safe. It is written by those who followed what they loved, no matter how hard it got. It is written by those who refused to give up even when the world told them to. It is written by those who were willing to risk everything for something they believed in. Passion is the fuel that drives every great success. It is the one thing that when everything else fades still remains. Success is not an accident. It is built step by step through habits, discipline, and the choices made every single day. The most successful people in the world do not wake up and hope for a good day. They create it. They design their mornings, structure their time, and build momentum before the rest of the world has even started. How the day begins determines how it will end. Energy, focus, and mindset are all shaped in the first few hours after waking up. That is where winners are made. Every person has the same 24 hours, yet some people achieve extraordinary things while others struggle to get through the day. The difference is in how they use the time they have. The morning is not just about waking up. It is about setting the tone, about preparing the mind and body for the challenges ahead. Those who master their mornings master their lives. Most people start their day reacting. They check their phones, scroll through emails, respond to messages, and before they even get out of bed, they are overwhelmed. Their mind is already filled with distractions, pulling them in 100 different directions. That is not how champions operate. Champions do not wake up and let the world dictate their mood. They take control. They establish rituals that prime them for success. The first battle of the day is against comfort. The bed is warm, the alarm clock is annoying, and the temptation to hit snooze is strong. That single decision sets the stage for the rest of the day. Give in to comfort once, and it becomes easier to do it again. Push past it, and momentum builds. The most successful people in history did not get where they are by choosing comfort. They trained themselves to embrace discipline. They got up when they said they would, no matter how they felt, because they knew that consistency wins over motivation every time. Physical movement is the next key. The body and the mind are connected. A sluggish body creates a sluggish mind. The greatest athletes, the top performers, the highest achievers, they all understand the power of movement. They exercise in the morning, not just for fitness, but to sharpen their focus, to activate their energy, to start the day with strength. Even a few minutes of stretching, a short run, or a quick workout shifts the entire state of the body and brain. The mind must be prepared before stepping into the world. Most people wake up and immediately fill their heads with noise, news, social media, endless notifications. They allow external influences to shape their thoughts. High performers do the opposite. They start with clarity, some meditate, some journal, some read, but they all take time to center themselves before engaging with the outside world. They choose what enters their mind, they set their intentions, they decide how their day will go before anything can interfere. The most successful people do not leave their mornings to chance. They have systems in place. They follow routines that remove decision fatigue and create efficiency. Decision-making is like a battery. It drains throughout the day. The more choices made early in the morning, the less energy remains for important decisions later. That is why so many successful people wear the same thing every day, eat the same breakfast, follow the same schedule. They eliminate unnecessary decisions so that their minds are free for the things that actually matter. Morning is also the best time to tackle the hardest tasks. Most people avoid difficulty. They push their biggest challenges to later in the day when their energy is lower, when their willpower is weaker. That is why they never get to them. The most effective people flip that. They do the hardest work first. They use their peak energy on the things that move them forward the most. They attack the biggest problem early so that the rest of the day feels easier. Small habits repeated daily create unstoppable momentum. Success is not about one big breakthrough. It is about doing the right things consistently over time. Waking up early once does nothing. Reading one page of a book changes nothing. Exercising one day does not build strength. But do these things every single day without fail, and the results become exponential. The compound effect of good habits is one of the most powerful forces in the world. Every morning we wake up with a choice. We can hit snooze, drag ourselves through the day and let life happen to us, or we can take control, set the tone, and make the day ours. Some of the most successful people in history had one thing in common. They mastered their mornings. They understood that how you start your day defines everything that follows. It's not about luck and it's not about talent. It's about mindset, routine, and the small habits that create momentum. This morning could be just another morning, or it could be the start of something bigger. The question is, how will you choose to begin? Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, every revolution started with failure. Not once, not twice, but over and over again. The people who change the world aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who refuse to stop when they do. Think about it. Everything you use, everything you admire, everything that's made an impact on your life, someone somewhere failed at it first, and then they tried again, and again, and again, until they got it right. Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb in one attempt. He didn't try 5 times, or 10, or even 100. He tried thousands of times. Thousands. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine waking up every day, trying to make something work, failing, going to sleep, and then waking up to do it all over again? Most people quit after the first roadblock. Edison didn't. He saw every failure as one step closer to success. That's what made him different. That's what made him legendary. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper because they told him he lacked imagination. Imagine that. The man who built an empire of creativity, of stories that have shaped generations, was told he wasn't creative enough. His first company went bankrupt. He was rejected over and over, but he didn't listen. He didn't stop. He didn't let failure define him. Instead, he used it as fuel. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest athletes of all time, was cut from his high school basketball team. Just think about that. The greatest of all time wasn't even considered good enough to make the team. Most people would have quit right there, but Jordan didn't. He worked harder, he trained longer, he refused to accept that failure was the end of his story. That's what separates the best from the rest, the ability to take failure, to embrace it, and to let it push you forward. Now here's the thing, we all fail, every single one of us. The difference is how we respond. Do we let it stop us? Do we walk away, tell ourselves we weren't good enough and move on to something easier? Or do we use it? Do we let it sharpen us, make us stronger, force us to think differently, to push harder, to become better? Because failure isn't a dead end. It's a lesson. It's a signal that says you're not there yet, but you can be. I know this firsthand. When we started Apple, we had no idea what we were doing. We were just a couple of guys in a garage with a vision. And let me tell you, there were a lot of failures, products that didn't work, ideas that flopped, people who told us it was impossible. And then, after years of building, growing, and finally achieving success, I was fired from the company I built. Can you imagine that? The company I poured everything into, taken away from me. It was devastating. I could have given up. I could have walked away, convinced myself that my time was over, but I didn't, because deep down I knew something. I still loved what I did. And if you truly love what you do, you can't quit. You won't quit, because passion is stronger than failure. So I started again. I built Pixar. I built Next. And years later, I found myself back at Apple, turning it into something bigger than I ever imagined. But none of that would have happened if I let failure stop me. The biggest mistake people make is believing that failure is a reflection of who they are. It's not. It's a reflection of where they are. And that can change. Every failure teaches you something. Every mistake reveals a weakness, a flaw, a missing piece of the puzzle. And once you know what's missing, you can fix it. You can improve. You can get better. That's the secret. The people who succeed aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who fail the most and keep going. Look at Elon Musk. Look at SpaceX. His first 3 rocket launches failed. Do you know what that means? It means millions of dollars lost. It means investors walking away. It means headlines saying it's over. But he didn't stop. He put everything he had into one last attempt. And that attempt changed everything. SpaceX became the future of space travel, not because it never failed, but because it refused to let failure define it. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers. 12. They told her Harry Potter wasn't good enough. If she had listened to them, there would be no Hogwarts, no wands, no magic, no inspiration for millions of kids who picked up a book and believed in something bigger than themselves. She didn't listen. She kept writing. She kept believing. And that made all the difference. Resilience is not about never falling. It's about getting back up. It's about taking every failure, every rejection, every moment of doubt and turning it into motivation. It's about proving to yourself that you can. Because the moment you refuse to quit, you've already won. Success doesn't happen in a straight line. It's messy, it's frustrating, it's painful. But that's what makes it worth it. The struggle, the setbacks, the failures, they shape you. They prepare you. They make you ready for the moment when everything finally falls into place. Most people give up too soon. They try once, they fail, and they walk away. But what if they were just one more attempt away from a breakthrough? What if Edison had stopped at attempt number 9,999? What if Disney had accepted that he wasn't creative enough? What if Jordan had quit basketball when he was cut from his high school team? The world would be different. less innovative, less magical, less inspiring. Because the people who make the biggest impact aren't the ones who never fail, they're the ones who never stop. So the next time you fail, and you will, ask yourself one question. Is this the end of the story, or is this just the beginning of something greater? Passion is the driving force behind every great achievement. It is the reason some people push through obstacles while others give up. Passion is not just enthusiasm or excitement. It is something deeper, something unshakable. It is the thing that keeps you up at night, the thing that makes you forget time, the thing that makes hard work feel effortless. Without passion, even the most talented people lose their way. With passion, even those with no experience can rise to the top. People often ask what separates those who succeed from those who don't. It's not intelligence, it's not luck, it's the relentless pursuit of something they truly love. When you love something, failure is just another step. When you love something, long hours don't feel like work. When you love something, no amount of criticism or doubt can shake you. Passion is the foundation of perseverance, and perseverance is what leads to success.